Welcome back to Project Beep Beep on the Average Guy's Restoration blog. It's Friday night. We're going to do a quick project with new plug wires. Fire core wires from, I guess it's a mom and pop business. The guy that runs it is Fire Core Rick. And make a long story short, I have sent back to Summit Racing 2 sets of plug wires. They just wouldn't fit. One was an MSD brand, and it was much different than the MSD wires that are currently on the car. The other brand was a Taylor race set of wires. So Mopar Forum people say you got to go with Fire Core Rick. 2 phone calls to Fire Core. I texted them photos. I made a bunch of measurements. The receipt says Chrysler big block with HEI distributor, and it lists all the links, so we'll see how they fit. I'll use the silicone paste rather than the dielectric grease. I have a lot more faith in the 3M silicone paste. And as I go along, again, Tim's got to put his editing hat on, but as I go along, I'll start and stop the film and take a few still shots. Then we'll fire it up. Well, the wires are on. You can still hear my exhaust manifold leak. I like the way they fit. You can't really see. I'll have to get a lamp. But for the most part, the fitment is good. The number 8 wire is a little long. But boy, she fired right up. Motor looks like it's even idling pretty good. This is where it sounds good out back here. And we'll do a wrap-up video here in a few minutes after I let it run. But the wires went on, they fit like a glove. I had to reuse my old coil wire, the MSD coil wire. I'm going to try to see if Fire Core will send me a new coil wire. I'll wrap up later. So you saw the car running and the wires were on. I have sent text to Fire Core Rick. He claims Monday I'm getting a new coil wire. It was running with the old MSD coil wire. I'm not sure about the science behind this, but I have read that you don't want to route wires, spark plug wires, in parallel. You actually want them to cross. And I've read it on several websites. I'm not sure the science behind that, but I went ahead and did it. And I printed out a diagram from mymopar.com of how the factory routed these on 383s. And they basically show a 4 spark plug wire. Actually, they show it a little bit further down here by the manifold. And then they show a 3 right down here. And then a 2 over here and back. I'll have to get a light down there to show you, but I think I'm going to do a little roadkill zip tie there on the dipstick for those wires. Moving over to the passenger side, fitment is pretty good, and again, I just kind of put the coil wire on there. I'll actually run the coil wire neater when I get the new one. Things fit pretty good here, except the number 8 wire you can't see. I'll have to get a light, but it's a little long. We'll have to probably zip tie that one. And I might even zip tie to the heater hose here, just to keep these up and off the exhaust manifold. But they fit well. The wire that my friend Leonard found when he said, I will find something bad with the car. This is the number 4 spark plug wire, which is on the passenger side. And you can see right there, it looks like maybe the exhaust manifold got a hold of it at one time. It shows evidence of a lot of bad stuff going on. The car fired up quick, no real problem there. But what I am going to do is take an ohm meter. These are the old wires that I laid out, and I'll take an ohm meter I think the spec on them is 50 or 80 ohms per foot. I'm going to ohm them out, clean them up with simple green, and those are my spares. And then my final tip for plug wires, if you go to Summit Racing or you go to some of these websites, spark plug wire loom separator kits, they run $20, some of them run $30, and I don't understand why. And this is right off the shelf at O'Reilly, $5.99, Mr. Gasket. I think it's even made in the USA. They work just fine. As you can see under the hood, they work just fine. They fit the wires tight. One thing FireCore Rick does do is every wire is labeled with the plug that it fires, and of course got a drawing off mymopar.com. I'm just going to throw this in the glove box or stick it in my service booklet just as a reference. I actually double checked the distributor as I was doing this just to get another data point.